Scene 1. Dawn by the river, full approximately 3,000 words. The first light of morning stretched slowly across the horizon, soft and gentle, painting the sky with pale shades of pink, gold, and lavender. The river lay before you, wide and still, its surface like molten silver reflecting the awakening sky. Mist rose delicately from the water, curling and drifting in slow, lazy spirals, wrapping the edges of the riverbank in a soft, ethereal veil. Every movement of the mist seemed deliberate, calm, and rhythmic, as if the river itself was breathing softly, slowly, in harmony with the earth. The air was cool and slightly damp, carrying the faint, comforting scent of wet moss, pine needles, and the earthy aroma of soil. Each inhalation felt like a gentle embrace, filling your lungs with calm and stillness. The soft sounds of the morning were subtle but vivid, the distant call of a bird awakening, the rustle of leaves in a gentle breeze, the quiet splash of a fish breaking the water's surface. All of these sounds blended into a symphony of peace, a natural rhythm that slowed your own heartbeat and soothed your mind. You stepped barefoot onto the riverbank, feeling the soft, damp earth beneath your feet. Tiny pebbles pressed against your soles, and the occasional root rose gently from the ground, firm and reassuring. Every step made a muted sound, a soft crunch or a slight squish, and each step grounded you further in this calm, serene world. The river beside you whispered gently, a constant, soothing presence. Its movement was slow and deliberate, ripples forming and spreading in wide, circular patterns, reflecting the soft light of dawn. A dragonfly hovered above the water, its wings catching the first rays of sunlight, refracting them into tiny prisms of color. It paused mid-air, delicate and still, before darting forward with fluid motion. You watched its small, purposeful movements, feeling a quiet admiration for the patience and grace of the smallest creatures. Time seemed suspended here. You could have stayed on this bank for hours, watching and listening, feeling the river and the forest breathe alongside you. Birds began their morning songs. A distant woodpecker tapped softly against the trunk of a tree, a steady, rhythmic sound that blended perfectly with the murmuring of the river. Sparrows flitted quickly from branch to branch, their wings brushing leaves that shivered softly in the breeze. The rustle of the leaves, the gentle tapping of the woodpecker, the soft gurgle of water, all these sounds became a quiet music, a meditation for the mind. You walked slowly along the bank, occasionally stopping to observe small details that might have gone unnoticed in a hurried life. Dew clung to each blade of grass, tiny droplets sparkling like diamonds. A spider wove its delicate web between two branches, every thread shimmering faintly with morning light. Tiny insects danced across the water's surface, skimming lightly and disappearing again. Each moment was small, deliberate, and calming. You reached a large stone by the water's edge and sat down, feeling its smooth surface cool beneath your hands. Placing your feet gently in the water, you noticed the small ripples spreading from your toes, merging with the gentle current of the river. The water was soft and clear, and the motion of the river felt almost like a slow, rhythmic lullaby. You closed your eyes briefly, allowing the sound to wash over you, feeling every muscle in your body loosen, every thought quiet. Asterisk, the trees along the bank began to stir in the gentle morning breeze. Pine needles shivered lightly, releasing their faint, calming scent into the air. Leaves on smaller trees rustled softly, creating a sound like a soft whisper in the stillness. A squirrel moved carefully along a branch above, pausing to peer down at you with cautious curiosity before continuing its journey. You watched the movement, noticing the quiet balance of life around you, the constant interplay of stillness and motion. Asterisk, the sun climbed higher, spilling warm patches of light onto the forest floor. The warmth was gentle, not harsh, a subtle invitation to rest and linger. You shifted slightly, leaning back against the stone, and let your eyes wander across the river. Mist still hovered lightly, curling lazily above the surface. The water reflected the sunlight in moving, glittering patterns, a gentle dance of light and shadow. You could watch it for hours, noticing the tiny waves, the reflections of clouds, the soft shimmer of sunlight on the rippling water. Asterisk, a heron appeared along the river, standing tall on one leg, motionless except for the occasional subtle movement of its head. It dipped its beak into the water and lifted it slowly, then paused again, a picture of calm and patience. You felt a sense of kinship with the bird, a quiet understanding of stillness and presence. The world felt infinite, gentle, and safe in this moment. Asterisk, the river flowed steadily, uninterrupted, and you felt a sense of timelessness. The current carried with it a feeling of continuity, of permanence, a reminder that the world keeps moving. Yet here, in this place, everything moves slowly enough for you to notice, to breathe, to exist fully in the present. Each breath was calm, each heartbeat steady. You felt every part of your body relax, your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your legs. The peace of the morning river filled every corner of your mind, washing away tension, worry, and distraction. Asterisk, a light breeze stirred the mist, curling it into new shapes, making it drift gently across the water. You imagined the mist as tiny dancers, floating softly, silently, performing a slow and graceful ballet above the river. The river continued its gentle song beneath them, a soothing undercurrent of sound and motion. Asterisk, you stood up slowly, feeling the soft resistance of the earth under your feet. Walking further along the riverbank, you noticed subtle changes in light, shadow, and color as the sun continued its rise. Small flowers peeked through the grass, delicate and quiet, adding tiny bursts of color to the green and brown of the river's edge. A fallen branch floated slowly downstream, spinning gently in the current, its motion mesmerizing in its calm, unhurried pace. Asterisk, you found another smooth rock and sat, letting your hands rest on the cool surface. Your feet touched the water again, and you felt the small ripple patterns spread outward, merging with the gentle flow of the river. Each movement was soothing, hypnotic. The water's rhythm seemed to synchronize with your own heartbeat, steadying it, calming it, lulling you into a deep sense of presence and quiet. Asterisk, the mist thickened slightly, curling higher, and the sunlight became warmer, casting golden light across the river. You noticed the tiny dewdrops on leaves, shimmering faintly. Insects buzzed softly in the air, their movements gentle and calm. Every sound, Every detail seemed magnified, yet softened, as if the world had slowed to match the rhythm of your own breath. Asterisk, you closed your eyes for a long moment, listening to the river, feeling the air, noticing the subtle movements of leaves, insects, birds, and the gentle sway of branches. You let your mind drift along with the river's flow, each thought slowing, stretching, becoming lighter. The world outside this place felt far away, and only the river, the forest, and the rising sun existed here. In this moment of calm, quiet, and gentle motion. Asterisk, the first hour of morning passed slowly. Shadows shifted imperceptibly. The river's surface changed subtly, catching new light, reflecting new patterns. You felt your mind align with the slow, deliberate rhythm of nature. Thoughts came and went like leaves on the water, drifting silently, naturally, without urgency. You breathed slowly, deeply, in sync with the soft currents around you. Asterisk, a flock of ducks glided onto the river from upstream, their movements gentle, graceful, almost imperceptible in the soft morning light. Their quacks were soft, subdued, blending with the sound of the river. You watched them pass, each one floating effortlessly, carried by the water, moving in harmony with the current. You imagined yourself floating with them, letting the river carry you gently, slowly, peacefully. Asterisk, time seemed to expand here. Every detail of the forest, the river, the sky, the mist, and the small creatures around you became vivid, yet soft, delicate, and calming. Your body relaxed completely, your mind became quiet, and your senses attuned to the gentle rhythm of the natural world. Each ripple of the river, each rustle of leaves, each whisper of wind, became a lullaby for your mind. Asterisk, the sun rose higher, the mist slowly lifting, revealing more of the river's calm expanse. You noticed the subtle texture of the water, the soft movement of reeds at the river's edge, the faint shimmer of sunlight on stones beneath the surface. Every small detail was a meditation, a moment of calm to be savored, noticed, and remembered. Asterisk, you lay back on the grass for a while, letting the soft earth support your body. The cool morning air brushed your skin. You listened to the water, the leaves, the distant birds, the soft hum of insects. The river whispered, ever so gently, and you felt your body, your mind, and your spirit aligning with its rhythm. Asterisk, every breath you took seemed slower, deeper, lighter. Every heartbeat became a soft drum in time with the river's gentle flow. The world was soft, still calm. The river slept in its own quiet way, and you felt as if you were sleeping alongside it, drifting slowly into a state of perfect, peaceful presence. Asterisk, scene 2. Walking through the forest, approximately 1,500 words. Voice-friendly. Asterisk, the forest awaited you, a quiet sanctuary tucked along the river's edge. Stepping beneath the canopy of tall pines and oaks, the morning light softened into dappled patches, spilling gently onto the forest floor. Each ray of sunlight danced upon the leaves, creating fleeting patterns that shimmered with a warm, golden glow. The air here was rich with the scent of damp soil, pine resin, and faint hints of wildflowers hidden among the ferns and mosses. Every breath felt grounding, a gentle connection to the earth. Asterisk, your footsteps made soft, muted sounds on the carpet of needles and fallen leaves. Occasionally, a small twig snapped underfoot, echoing softly through the forest. You noticed how the ground varied, sometimes soft and springy with moss, sometimes firm with exposed roots, and sometimes dotted with tiny pebbles. Each step reminded you of the forest's slow rhythm, the deliberate pace at which life moved here. The forest was alive with quiet sounds. Birds called softly to one another, weaving delicate melodies across the canopy. Somewhere above, a woodpecker tapped against a tree trunk, a steady, calming rhythm blending seamlessly with the soft murmur of the river beyond. Leaves rustled gently in the breeze, a hypnotic lullaby for wandering thoughts. As you walked, your eyes caught small movements. A squirrel paused on a branch, peering cautiously before continuing its careful journey. Tiny insects danced in shafts of sunlight, their movements subtle and fleeting. Each detail felt deliberate, perfectly synchronized with the forest's slow rhythm. You paused at the base of a towering oak tree, resting your hand on its rough bark. The texture was firm and grounding, a solid presence beneath your palm. Its roots sprawled beneath the earth, hidden but strong, holding the forest together. Leaning against the trunk, you listened to the hum of life around you, the rustling leaves, chirping birds, and the soft hum of insects. Each sound blended into a serene melody, slowing your heartbeat and easing tension. Deeper into the forest. The light shifted, filtering through denser patches of leaves and branches. Shadows lengthened, creating gentle patterns that moved with the breeze. Small details appeared, a delicate mushroom sprouting from moss, dew glinting on a spider web, ferns swaying in the air. Each observation became a meditation, a quiet celebration of calm, unhurried life. A small brook emerged from the forest floor, feeding into the river. Its water gurgled softly over stones, accompanying the distant hum of the river. You crouched by the brook, letting your fingers touch the cool, clear water. Tiny ripples spread outward, reflecting the soft light. You lingered, watching sunlight play across the water, the gentle curves of the brook and moss along its edge. Continuing your walk. The forest wrapped around you like a soft cocoon. A fallen log crossed your path, moss-covered and cool. You stepped onto it carefully, tracing the patterns with your fingers. The faint smell of damp wood mingled with the forest air. You listened to the subtle sounds, distant birds, rustling leaves, hidden insects. Every sound felt like part of the forest's heartbeat, perfectly timed with your breathing. As midday approached, sunlight filtered through moving patches in the canopy, warming your face and arms. Small flowers peeked through moss, butterflies flitted from flower to flower. Time seemed to stretch here. There was no need to hurry. The forest invited you to move slowly, observe, and simply exist. A gentle breeze carried the scent of flowers and wet soil. Closing your eyes, you let the sounds and smells envelop you completely. Each breath grew slower, each heartbeat calmer. The forest seemed alive yet restful, full of movement yet perfectly still, a sanctuary of patient life. Small creatures moved deliberately. A rabbit hopped softly through the underbrush, nibbling tender shoots. A dragonfly skimmed across a puddle, its wings flashing green and blue. Birds flitted from branch to branch, singing quiet melodies that intertwined with the gurgling brook. Every creature moved in harmony with the forest. Asterisk, you reached a clearing where sunlight bathed soft moss. Sitting down, you pressed your palms against it, letting yourself sink into its softness. Forest sounds continued their gentle rhythm, leaves whispering, water gurgling, birds singing, insects humming. You breathed slowly, feeling the life around you, letting calm seep into every muscle and thought. Asterisk, the light shifted. Shadows lengthened. Wind moved slightly, carrying quiet melodies. Tiny details appeared. Patterns on leaves, dew on rocks, the curve of a fern frond. Each observation became a meditation, each sound a note in the forest's lullaby. A growing sense of peace filled you, feeling entirely present, safe, and supported by the forest. Asterisk, following the brook deeper, the trees grew taller, branches interlacing above. Sunlight became soft beams filtering through leaves, moving with the wind. Tiny insects glided, distant animals moved quietly, and the faint hum of the forest seemed musical. Asterisk, you paused to watch water moving in the brook, how it curved around stones, how ripples spread outward, sunlight reflecting softly. The sight was mesmerizing, soothing, hypnotic. You imagined drifting along with the water, carried gently and calmly. Your mind quieted, thoughts fading into the gentle rhythm of the brook. Asterisk, the forest embraced you, each step slow and deliberate. Every sound, motion, and breath became part of a meditative rhythm. Warm sunlight, soft air, gentle movement. Time no longer mattered. Only the forest, the water, the creatures, and you in harmony. Asterisk, you reached a moss-covered fallen tree and rested. Sitting, you traced the bark, listening to the combined melody of rustling leaves, birds, gurgling water, and distant insects. Each sound blended perfectly, creating a lullaby around your body and mind. Asterisk, minutes passed, perhaps hours, as you immersed yourself in the calm rhythm of the forest. Every inhale brought freshness, every exhale released tension. The forest seemed to breathe with you, heartbeat slow and steady. You felt deeply connected to everything around, part of this serene, unhurried life. Asterisk, rising slowly, you continued along the brook. The path curved gently, leading deeper into the forest. Light, shadow, sound, and motion intertwined delicately. Subtle textures of bark, softness of moss, cool water droplets on leaves, your senses attuned to every gentle movement. Asterisk, with each step, your mind quieted further. Thoughts drifted, fading into a gentle stream. Breathing aligned with the forest's rhythm. Heartbeat, breath, step, and sound moved in harmony. Profound calm settled over your body, a gentle serenity spreading through your mind. Asterisk, finally, you paused at a small clearing. The forest had become a living lullaby. Each detail, sound, and movement blended into a soothing, hypnotic rhythm. You sank onto soft moss, closed your eyes, and let the calm wash over you. The forest held you, its gentle embrace steady and eternal. You were part of its slow, deliberate rhythm, drifting gently in perfect harmony with every leaf, every ripple, every breath of wind. Asterisk, Scene 3. discovering the hidden cove, approximately 3,000 words asterisk after walking through the forest for a long while. You notice the trees beginning to thin, allowing the sunlight to fall more freely onto the soft, mossy ground. The air is warmer here, but still gentle and refreshing, carrying with it a subtle mix of pine, earth, and the faint, clean scent of water nearby. You follow a narrow, winding path, listening to the soft crunch of leaves underfoot. And soon you hear it, the quiet, steady murmur of a river, slower and broader than the one you first encountered. Asterisk, as you approach, a hidden cove reveals itself. The river widens here, its flow slow and deliberate, almost glassy, reflecting the sky in smooth, shimmering patterns. Mist rises gently from the water, curling and drifting in soft spirals, casting a dreamlike veil over the surroundings. You step closer, feeling the soft earth beneath your feet, noticing the subtle differences in texture, patches of moss, smooth stones, and occasional roots that rise gently from the ground, anchoring the life of the forest. Asterisk, a sense of calm washes over you as you reach the edge of the cove. The water is perfectly still in some places, rippling gently in others, reflecting the sun in a dance of light and shadow. You sit on a large, smooth rock at the water's edge, letting your feet touch the cool, clear water. Tiny ripples spread outward, joining the slow current of the river. Dragonflies skim across the surface, their delicate wings catching the sunlight in subtle flashes of blue and green. Asterisk, the cove is alive with quiet, gentle sounds. The murmur of the river blends with the occasional rustle of leaves, the soft chirping of birds hidden in the trees, and the faint hum of insects. Every sound is subtle, deliberate, and hypnotic, weaving a soft, calming melody. You close your eyes briefly, letting the mixture of water, wind, and forest sounds wash over you. Your body relaxes completely, every muscle loosening, your mind quieting. Asterisk, you notice a fallen branch floating slowly along the water. It spins gently, its movements so soft and unhurried that it seems almost purposeful, deliberate. The river carries it along as if guiding it, and you imagine yourself floating with it, drifting slowly, peacefully, without a care in the world. Each ripple, each shimmer of sunlight on the water, seems to echo the gentle rhythm of your heartbeat. Syncing your body and mind with the flow of the river, asterisk, small creatures inhabit the edges of the cove. A frog jumps from one stone to another, creating faint ripples in the water. Birds perch silently, observing the scene, their reflections mirrored perfectly in the still areas of the river. Tiny insects skim the surface, their movements soft and delicate. Every small life here moves with patience, calm, and precision, blending seamlessly into the rhythm of the cove. Asterisk, you lie back on the grass and moss at the edge of the cove, letting the soft ground support your body. The coolness of the moss beneath your palms and the gentle brush of air on your skin deepen your sense of relaxation. The river continues its gentle murmur, carrying with it a sense of timelessness and quiet. You feel as if the cove has existed exactly like this for centuries, unchanged, holding its calm. peaceful energy for anyone who takes the time to notice. Asterisk sunlight filters through the trees, creating shifting patterns of gold and green on the surface of the water. You watch these patterns move slowly as the breeze touches the leaves above. Tiny ripples form where leaves fall into the river, expanding outward in concentric circles, reflecting light in ever-changing ways. The visual rhythm is soft and mesmerizing, hypnotic in its gentle repetition. Asterisk, the mist rising from the water begins to thicken slightly, curling around stones and reeds at the water's edge. It moves gracefully, almost as if performing a slow, silent dance. You notice how it interacts with the sunlight, catching faint glimmers of gold and silver. Every detail feels deliberate and calming. You let your eyes follow the mist as it twists and floats, feeling a sense of deep serenity grow within you. Asterisk, a heron appears near the opposite bank, tall and elegant, standing silently on one leg. Its head moves slowly, scanning the water, and then it dips its beak gracefully into the river. You watch its movements, smooth and deliberate, every motion slow and purposeful. It feels as though time itself has slowed to match the heron's rhythm. You feel a kinship with the bird, sharing in the calmness and patience of this secluded place. Asterisk, the air is filled with gentle, calming sounds. The distant murmur of the forest blends seamlessly with the soft lapping of water against stones. The faint call of a bird somewhere in the trees, the subtle hum of insects, the whisper of leaves stirred by a slow breezle merge into a quiet, peaceful symphony. Each note resonates with your mind, soothing it, slowing it, guiding your thoughts into stillness. Asterisk, you lie back fully now, letting the cove's energy envelop you. The moss, the soft soil, the cool water against your toes, the gentle sunlight, the shifting mist, and the hypnotic rhythm of life here combine into a deep sense of peace. Every breath you take becomes slower and more deliberate. Every heartbeat feels lighter, calmer. Your body and mind begin to float with the rhythm of the cove. Asterisk, a small ripple travels across the water, catching the sunlight in a dazzling but soft display. Tiny leaves drift slowly, carried by the current. A dragonfly lands delicately on a reed, its wings catching the light. You watch all of this with quiet attention, letting your senses absorb every gentle movement. You feel connected to the cove, the river, and the forest surrounding it, as if you are a part of this slow, deliberate, and timeless world. Asterisk, time seems to stretch here. Minutes pass, but it feels as though hours could pass without notice. Each small sound, each movement, each soft pattern of sunlight or mist is observed fully, savored, and absorbed. You breathe in deeply, feeling the calm energy of the cove. Move through your body. Every thought drifts softly away, leaving only presence, serenity, and stillness. Asterisk, as the sun climbs higher, the light becomes warmer yet gentle, illuminating the cove in soft golds and silvers. The mist curls and shifts, interacting with the water and light in a slow, mesmerizing dance. You watch the reflections on the water, noticing how the sunlight highlights the subtle curves and ripples. Each ripple Each movement is soft, slow, deliberate, and hypnotic. Asterisk, you notice tiny flowers growing at the water's edge, their delicate petals catching drops of dew. A frog sits silently on a stone, its eyes blinking slowly. Small insects move across leaves and water surfaces, their soft buzzing adding to the gentle melody of the cove. The natural rhythm of life here is slow, measured, and deeply calming. Asterisk, you lie fully on the soft moss now, closing your eyes and feel the breeze brushing your face. The river's gentle murmur, the movement of mist, the occasional bird call, the soft hum of insects, and the warmth of sunlight combine into a perfect lullaby for your mind. Your body relaxes further, your thoughts fade, and a deep, gentle sense of peace settles within you. Asterisk, every breath becomes slower, every heartbeat calm. The water ripples softly at the edge of the cove, reflecting light and shadow in quiet patterns. Mist floats lazily above the surface, curling and twisting in slow spirals. Tiny creatures move gently, their motions deliberate and peaceful. Everything here is slow, calm, quiet, and deliberate. Asterisk, the sun continues its climb, casting soft, warm light across the cove. You lie still, letting your senses absorb the beauty and serenity around you. Time has no meaning here, only the soft rhythm of water, wind, sunlight, and life. Your mind drifts gently with these rhythms, thoughts coming and going like leaves carried by the river, soft and unobtrusive. Asterisk, you feel a profound sense of calm, a connection to this hidden, peaceful place. Each movement, sound, and detail is observed, savored, and absorbed fully. The cove seems timeless, patient, and safe. Your mind, body, and spirit align with its slow, gentle rhythm, floating in the quiet, calm, and serene energy of this hidden sanctuary. Scene 4. Midday reflections. Approximately 3,000 words. The sun climbed higher into the sky, casting warm, gentle light across the forest and river. The hidden cove you had discovered earlier lay behind you now, and you walked slowly along a soft, winding path that led to a small clearing. The air was rich with the scents of moss, earth, and distant wildflowers, each inhalation carrying a subtle warmth and calm. Every step you took sank slightly into the soft ground, cushioning your feet and grounding you in the rhythm of the forest. Asterisk. You found a smooth patch of grass bathed in sunlight and decided to sit. The warmth of the sun on your skin felt soothing, a gentle contrast to the coolness of the moss and soil. You closed your eyes briefly, allowing your senses to stretch fully into the moment. The forest whispered softly around you, leaves swayed with the breeze, birds sang quietly in the distance, insects hummed faintly, and the river murmured gently somewhere nearby. Each sound wove together into a serene melody, a meditation of nature's rhythms. Asterisk, as you sat, your mind began to wander slowly, guided by the calm around you. Thoughts came softly, like drifting clouds, unhurried and gentle. You reflected on the journey so far, the dawn by the river, the walk through the forest, and the hidden cove that had offered such stillness and peace. Each memory felt distant, yet vivid, a reminder of the slow, deliberate rhythm of the world around you. Asterisk, the sunlight shifted subtly, filtering through the canopy in golden beams that moved slowly across the clearing. Each ray highlighted delicate details, tiny flowers opening their petals, dew droplets glimmering like miniature jewels, insects moving gracefully across leaves. You noticed every detail without hurry, letting your eyes linger, absorbing the calm energy each small moment offered. Asterisk, a gentle breeze stirred, carrying with it a mixture of scents, the faint sweetness of flowers, the earthy aroma of soil, the freshness of nearby water. You inhaled deeply, letting the air fill your lungs, and exhaled slowly, releasing tension and thoughts you no longer needed. Each breath became a meditation, a quiet reflection on the present moment, allowing you to sink deeper into calm awareness. Asterisk, nearby, a small brook trickled softly over stones, its gentle flow adding a subtle rhythm to the midday stillness. You leaned closer, letting your fingers touch the cool, clear water. Tiny ripples spread outward, reflecting sunlight in soft, shimmering patterns. You watched them move slowly, each wave delicate and hypnotic, as if the water itself were breathing gently, echoing the slow rhythm of your own body. Asterisk, birds moved quietly through the branches above, their calls soft and intermittent. A woodpecker tapped gently in the distance, a steady, calming beat that blended perfectly with the gurgle of the brook. Leaves rustled gently, swaying with the breeze, creating a hypnotic rhythm of movement and sound. Each small detail became a point of focus, a meditation that drew your mind into a state of deep relaxation. Asterisk, you reflected further, letting your thoughts drift like leaves on water. Memories of other walks, other quiet mornings, and moments of peace surfaced softly. You noticed how these memories carried the same calm, rhythmic quality as the forest around you. Each recollection was gentle, unhurried, and soothing. You breathed slowly, deeply, feeling the connection between your past experiences and the present serenity of the forest. Asterisk, the sunlight continued its journey across the sky, warming your face and arms. You shifted slightly, leaning back on the soft grass, and felt the gentle support of the earth beneath you. The sounds of the forest continued uninterrupted, the murmur of water, the rustle of leaves, the distant calls of birds, the soft hum of insects. Every note blended into a perfect, tranquil symphony that echoed in your mind, slowing your heartbeat and easing every muscle in your body. Asterisk, as you sat in the clearing, you noticed a small patch of flowers nearby. Their delicate petals glistened with dew. Tiny insects flitted softly from blossom to blossom, and sunlight illuminated their subtle colors. You observed them closely, allowing your mind to focus entirely on their quiet, gentle life. Each small movement, each detail, each sound became a point of meditation, anchoring you in the stillness of the present. Asterisk, the river beyond the forest whispered softly, a constant, calming presence. You imagined yourself drifting along with it, carried slowly and safely by the current. Your thoughts aligned with the flow, gentle and rhythmic. Each breath, each heartbeat, each movement of your body became synchronized with the rhythm of the natural world around you. The forest, the water, the sunlight, the gentle breeze became part of the same slow, Deliberate motion. Asterisk, you closed your eyes fully now, letting the warmth of the sun, the gentle air, and the quiet sounds of the forest envelop you completely. Every muscle relaxed, every thought drifted away, leaving only the gentle rhythm of life around you. You felt a profound sense of peace, a quiet connection to the forest, the river, and the soft, golden sunlight bathing the clearing. Asterisk, time seemed to stretch here, unmeasured and calm. Minutes passed softly, yet it felt as though hours could drift by unnoticed. Each sound, each movement, each subtle change in light became a meditation, a soft lullaby for the mind and body. You allowed yourself to simply be, floating gently in the serene embrace of the forest. Asterisk, the sunlight shifted again, warming the forest floor, illuminating small patches of moss and tiny wildflowers. You observed a butterfly flitting lazily from blossom to blossom, its wings catching the light in soft flashes. Tiny ripples on the brook's surface reflected sunlight in delicate patterns. Leaves swayed gently in the breeze, casting moving shadows that danced slowly across the soft earth. Each detail contributed to a slow, hypnotic rhythm that your mind followed effortlessly. Asterisk, a distant deer moved quietly through the trees, stepping carefully over roots and soft earth. Its presence was gentle, unhurried, perfectly synchronized with the calm of the forest. You watched it pass, noticing the elegance and patience of its movements. The forest seemed to hold a collective breath, a quiet respect for every creature within it. You felt as though you were part of this shared stillness, connected to every leaf, stone, and drop of water in the clearing. Asterisk, you reflected on the flow of time here. The forest, the river, the sun, and every small creature continued their gentle rhythm, unaffected by the urgency of the outside world. You allowed your thoughts to slow, aligning your mind with this deliberate pace. Each inhale became deeper, each exhale slower. Your heartbeat matched the soft rhythm of the brook, the whisper of the leaves, and the distant murmur of the river. Asterisk, the forest's warmth and light wrapped around you like a soft blanket. You lay back on the grass, letting the earth support your body completely. Sunlight streamed through the canopy, creating soft patches of gold that shifted with the breeze. Every sound, the subtle rustle of leaves, the gentle gurgle of water, the distant bird calls, wove together into a continuous, tranquil melody. You felt yourself floating in this harmony, carried gently by the slow pulse of the forest. Asterisk, time continued its quiet passage. Small movements caught your attention, a leaf drifting lazily to the forest floor, sunlight reflecting off a water droplet, a small insect moving across a stone. Each observation was soft, slow, and deliberate, creating a meditation that deepened your sense of calm. You breathed with the rhythm of life around you, your body and mind merging with the slow, deliberate pulse of nature. Asterisk, by the time you rose from the grass, the sun was higher in the sky, casting warmer light across the clearing. Your senses were fully attuned to the forest, each sound, scent, and movement deeply grounding you. Every detail, no matter how small, had contributed to a profound sense of serenity and mindfulness. You felt calm, centered, and connected to this peaceful world. Asterisk, you stood slowly, stretching lightly, and continued walking along the path that wound through the forest. Sunlight filtered through the trees in shifting patterns, illuminating small flowers, moss-covered stones, and the gentle sway of branches. Every step, every breath, every soft sound was part of the same meditative rhythm. You felt entirely present, entirely calm, and entirely at peace in this forest sanctuary. Scene 5. Late afternoon and sunset. Approximately 3,000 words. The sun began its slow descent toward the horizon, casting long, soft shadows across the forest floor. The golden light filtered through the canopy, painting the leaves in warm amber and honey tones. The air had cooled slightly, carrying with it the soft scent of earth, pine, and distant water. Every breath you took felt grounding, a gentle rhythm of calm that filled your body and mind. You continued walking along a narrow forest path, the soft ground cushioning each step. Fallen leaves crunched lightly beneath your feet, and the occasional root or stone provided a gentle resistance, reminding you of the forest's presence and its slow, deliberate rhythm. The deeper you moved, the more serene the forest became. Every rustle of leaves, every bird call, every distant splash of water merged into a quiet symphony of stillness. Light shifted continuously as the sun lowered, highlighting subtle textures on tree trunks and mossy patches. You paused beside a tall pine, placing your hand on its rough bark. The texture grounded you instantly, connecting you to the age and strength of the forest. Sunlight streamed through the branches, casting intricate patterns on the ground and surrounding plants. Tiny insects danced in these beams of light, their movements delicate and almost hypnotic. As you walked further, you noticed a small clearing where sunlight pooled in soft patches. Here, the forest seemed to pause, holding its breath in the warm glow. You sat on the soft grass, letting your body sink into the earth's gentle support. Every inhale carried the subtle sense of the forest. Every exhale released tension and noise from the outside world. You felt the rhythm of your body aligning with the calm pulse of the forest, slow and steady. The river whispered nearby, its surface reflecting the changing colors of the sky. You walked closer to the water's edge, noticing how the sunlight turned the gentle ripples into golden waves. Each ripple moved slowly, expanding outward in soft, hypnotic circles. Dragonflies skimmed across the surface, their delicate wings catching the sun in flashes of color. You rested your hands in the cool water, watching the movement and letting the gentle touch anchor your thoughts in the present. Birds moved quietly through the trees, calling softly to one another. A distant woodpecker tapped rhythmically on a trunk, blending perfectly with the soft hum of insects and the murmuring of water. Leaves swayed gently in the evening breeze, and each sound seemed deliberate, hypnotic, and soothing. You closed your eyes briefly, letting the forest's melody carry your mind into a state of deep calm and reflection. As the sun continued to descend, the colors of the sky shifted from gold to soft pinks and purples. The forest and river mirrored these changes, painting the world in gentle, warm tones. You noticed the subtle movement of mist rising from the river, curling lazily and catching the fading sunlight. It moved with a grace that felt deliberate, slow, and almost magical. You wandered slowly along the riverbank, observing small creatures preparing for evening. Frogs crouched on stones, readying themselves near the water's edge. A heron stood silently, its reflection mirrored perfectly in the still water. Tiny insects skimmed the river's surface, their delicate movements catching the remaining sunlight. Every living thing seemed to move with patience and calm, teaching you once again the rhythm of nature's unhurried pace. You paused in a small nook by the water, sitting on a moss-covered rock. The air had cooled further, carrying a faint scent of wet soil and pine. Sunlight filtered through the trees, painting the forest floor in intricate patterns. You observed the soft ripples of the river, the gentle sway of leaves, the delicate dance of insects, and the quiet call of birds. Each movement was slow, deliberate, and soothing. The sun hovered near the horizon now, casting a warm, golden glow across the forest and river. Shadows lengthened, stretching softly over the ground and water. The forest seemed to exhale slowly, as if settling into the rhythm of evening. You closed your eyes for a long moment, listening carefully to the gentle sounds, the rustle of leaves, the distant murmur of the river, the soft hum of insects, and the occasional bird. All of it blended into a serene symphony, calming your mind and body completely. You reflected on the journey so far, the morning by the river, the walk through the forest, the hidden cove, and the quiet midday reflections. Every step had been deliberate, every moment rich with sensory detail and rhythmic calm. You felt deeply connected to the forest, the water, the sunlight, and the slow passage of time. The world seemed vast and infinite, yet every detail was intimate, peaceful, and mesmerizing. As the sun lowered further, its golden light became softer, turning the sky into shades of pink, purple, and lavender. You noticed the subtle shimmer of water on the river's surface, the gentle sway of branches, the movement of small animals, and the shifting patterns of light and shadow. Each detail became a point of meditation, a lullaby for your mind, soothing every thought, every worry, and every tension. The breeze carried a cool whisper of evening air, brushing against your skin and rustling the leaves above. You took a slow, deep breath, feeling the calm settle more deeply into your chest and shoulders. The rhythm of the forest, the river, and the fading sunlight aligned with your own heartbeat, each pulse, each breath, each movement syncing perfectly with the slow, deliberate rhythm of nature. Shadows lengthened further, and the sun approached the horizon, casting the forest in soft, muted gold. You noticed the smallest details, a dragonfly hovering briefly before moving on, a ripple expanding gently across the river, a leaf falling slowly to the mossy ground. Every observation was slow, deliberate, and grounding. You felt your mind quiet completely, aligning with the calm, hypnotic flow of the forest. You lay back on the soft grass near the riverbank, letting your body sink fully into the earth's support. The remaining warmth of sunlight, the gentle rustle of leaves, the distant calls of birds, and the quiet murmur of the river enveloped you completely. Every breath became slower, every heartbeat gentler, every thought fading softly into the surrounding calm. The sun touched the horizon now, casting long, soft streaks of amber and pink across the sky. Mist hovered lightly over the river, curling and drifting slowly, catching the last light of day. You watched as shadows lengthened, blending with the soft glow of evening. The forest seemed to hold its breath, perfectly still, patient, and serene. Asterisk, as twilight approached, the world softened further. The sounds of the forest became quieter, more subtle. A faint ripple in the river, a soft rustle of leaves, the distant call of an evening bird, the gentle hum of insects preparing for night. You felt completely immersed in this slow, deliberate rhythm. Your body relaxed fully, your mind drifted gently, and a profound sense of peace filled every corner of your being. Asterisk, you closed your eyes completely, feeling the forest, the river, and the fading sunlight wrap around you like a gentle blanket. Each sound, each movement, each breath became part of a calm, hypnotic rhythm. The day slowly faded into evening, and you floated in the gentle, serene energy of this forest sanctuary, completely at peace, completely present, and entirely embraced by the calm of nature. Scene 6. Nightfall and moonlight, approximately 3,000 words as the sun disappeared completely behind the horizon. The forest entered a new rhythm, a slower, quieter, and more mysterious one. Shadows deepened, stretching across the mossy ground and the gentle ripples of the river. The air grew cooler, carrying the subtle scent of damp earth, pine, and the faint aroma of night-blooming flowers. Each inhalation felt refreshing and grounding, anchoring you to the calm, deliberate pace of the forest at night. Asterisk, the path you had been following throughout the day led you deeper into the woods, now dimly lit by the fading twilight. Your steps made soft, muted sounds on the forest floor, each one deliberate, gentle, and grounding. Fallen leaves crunched quietly beneath your feet, and occasional stones and roots provided a soft resistance, reminding you of the forest's steady presence. Every motion, every breath, every heartbeat began to align with the slow rhythm of nightfall. Asterisk, the first stars began to appear in the darkening sky, tiny points of light shining through gaps in the forest canopy. Their subtle glow mirrored the gentle reflection of the river, now calm and silvered by the dimming light. Mist rose softly from the water, curling lazily and diffusing the moonlight into a delicate, ethereal veil. You paused to watch the subtle dance of mist and moonlight, feeling a profound sense of serenity wash over you. Asterisk, night sounds began to emerge. A distant owl called softly, its voice echoing gently across the still forest. Crickets and other nocturnal insects added a faint hum to the quiet symphony of night. The river whispered as it flowed, rippling slowly over stones and roots. Every sound was subtle, measured, and hypnotic, blending into a gentle rhythm that eased your thoughts and quieted your mind. Asterisk, you walked slowly to the edge of a small clearing where the moonlight touched the forest floor. The light was soft and silvery, illuminating delicate patterns on leaves, moss, and fallen branches. Every detail became vivid in the gentle glow. Tiny flowers reflected the moonlight softly, dewdrops shimmered like miniature lanterns, and the slow sway of ferns seemed to follow a deliberate, hypnotic rhythm. You breathed deeply, letting the air fill your lungs, carrying the calm, cool energy of night. A gentle breeze moved through the trees, rustling leaves softly and carrying the subtle fragrance of night blooms. The wind felt like a whisper against your skin, brushing lightly and cooling your face. Each movement of the forest, each sound, Each breath seemed part of a slow, deliberate meditation. You closed your eyes briefly, letting the rhythm of nightfall align with your own heartbeat and breathing. Near the river. The water's surface reflected the rising moon in perfect clarity. Ripples moved slowly outward from tiny disturbances, reflecting the pale light in delicate, shifting patterns. Dragonflies and small nocturnal insects skimmed the surface, their movement soft and hypnotic. You sat on a moss-covered rock at the water's edge, letting your fingers touch the cool water and observing the quiet life around you. Each ripple, each movement, each soft sound anchored you deeper into the present, creating a sense of complete calm and stillness. Owls moved silently among the trees, their wings brushing softly against the night air. A fox prowled quietly in the distance, careful and deliberate with each step. Every creature seemed aware of the forest's nocturnal rhythm, moving slowly, purposefully, and harmoniously. You felt a deep kinship with these creatures, sharing in the calm, measured pace of the night. The moon rose higher, bathing the clearing and riverbank in silvery light. Shadows shifted, stretching across the ground, weaving intricate patterns that danced slowly with the movement of leaves. The forest seemed alive yet tranquil, a living lullaby that invited you to relax fully. You lay back on the soft moss, feeling the cool earth support your body completely. The moonlight touched your face gently, the night air whispered softly, and the sounds of the forest created a hypnotic, meditative rhythm. You observed small nocturnal details. A moth fluttering quietly near a flower. A frog adjusting its position. On a stone, the slow ripple of water reflecting moonlight. Every detail was deliberate, measured, and calming. Your thoughts drifted slowly, fading into the gentle rhythm of night, your mind aligning perfectly with the pulse of the forest. The river continued its quiet murmur, the sound blending seamlessly with the soft rustle of leaves and the occasional distant call of night birds. The air was cool and refreshing, each inhalation deepening your sense of presence and serenity. You breathed slowly, feeling your body relax further, each heartbeat slower, calmer, and more deliberate. Time seemed suspended. The moonlight shifted. Subtly, shadows lengthened and shortened with the swaying of branches, and the gentle mist drifted lazily above the river. The forest's nocturnal symphony continued uninterrupted. The soft hum of insects, the distant call of an owl, the gentle ripple of water, and the faint whisper of wind through leaves. Every sound and movement became a meditation, guiding your mind into deep relaxation and calm. You reflected quietly on the day's journey, the morning by the river, the walk through the forest, the hidden cove, the midday reflections, the warm glow of sunset, and now the tranquil embrace of night. Each moment had been deliberate, slow, and richly detailed, allowing your senses to fully absorb the calm rhythm of nature. You felt profoundly connected to the forest, the river, the moonlight, and the gentle pulse of life surrounding you. The moon climbed higher, casting a serene silver glow across the forest and water. You noticed subtle movements, a dragonfly hovering briefly, the slow ripple of water, a leaf drifting gently to the forest floor. Every detail contributed to a meditative state, each movement harmonizing with your slow, deliberate breathing and heartbeats. You felt completely immersed in the tranquility of the night. Asterisk, as the night deepened, stars twinkled through gaps in the canopy, adding their quiet presence to the silver glow of the moon. The forest seemed to hum softly, the collective rhythm of nocturnal life creating a hypnotic, calming melody. You lay fully on the mossy ground, allowing every sound, every detail, and every subtle movement to wash over you completely. Your mind drifted, thoughts fading, body relaxing, and a profound sense of peace enveloped you. Asterisk, the gentle hum of the forest, the soft murmur of the river, the whisper of the breeze, and the ethereal light of the moon created a perfect lullaby. You breathed deeply, slowly, each inhalation filling you with calm, each exhalation releasing tension. Your body, mind, and spirit aligned with the slow, deliberate rhythm of night, floating effortlessly in the serenity of the forest. Asterisk, you observed the delicate interplay of light and shadow, the faint glimmer of stars reflected in the water, the subtle movement of mist curling over stones and river banks. Everything moved slowly, deliberately, hypnotically. Every sense was attuned to this rhythm, every muscle relaxed, every thought softened into stillness. Asterisk, time continued its quiet passage. The moonlight shifted gently, shadows danced softly, the river rippled slowly, and the forest breathed with measured calm. You felt part of this living lullaby, carried gently by the steady pulse of the nocturnal world. Your heartbeat, your breathing, your body, and your mind all synced with the serene rhythm surrounding you. Asterisk, as the night deepened further, a profound sense of tranquility settled completely. The forest, river, moon, and stars seemed to wrap you in a gentle embrace. Every sound, every movement, every detail became part of a slow, hypnotic meditation. You floated effortlessly in the calm of night, completely at peace, entirely present, and fully embraced by the quiet, serene energy of this forest sanctuary.